What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, guys. Appreciate you being here as always, man. Another day with another showdown slate to talk about. We got the Hawks and the Bucks playing tonight. Game 3 should be, or Game 2, excuse me, should be pretty fun. Me personally, got my Bucks, repping my Bucks gear tonight. I'm pulling for the Bucks. Me and my girlfriend, we're thinking about potentially going to Game 6, which would be in Atlanta. They're going to, obviously Game 6 will be in Atlanta, and we're thinking about going because I live in South Carolina. I'm not that far out from Atlanta. It'll be my first time ever going to an NBA game, so hopefully after tonight the series will be tied 1-1. Maybe, after Game 4 the series will be tied 2-2. We'll have a Game 6 in Atlanta, and if there is a Game 6 in Atlanta, I might be there. I'm excited. We're probably going to make a trip to go down to Atlanta for Game 6. Want to see the Bucks get the win tonight, so that way the series can be tied, and that just makes it more likely there is a Game 6. But yeah, guys, for the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to talk through this showdown slate, answer your questions. If you have any questions about tonight's slate, any lineup-specific questions, go ahead and throw them in chat, and we'll talk through everything. And also, if you can see at the bottom of the screen, I'm sure most of you guys know this already, but we are partnered with PrizePicks. PrizePicks, they are the sponsor of this video. They're the sponsor of this stream, I should say. We're going to be working a lot with them moving forward. If you guys have not checked out PrizePicks yet, you want to see what they have to offer. It's a pretty cool way to play DFS. You're not playing against other players. You're not playing against pro players, against sharks, whatever you want to call them. It's you versus the house, you versus their projection. So they have a projection for each player. You can pretty much predict whether you think they go over or under their projection. And we'll talk about some prize picks I do like for today. If you have any prize picks specific questions as well, you can throw those in the chat. But if you guys want to check out prize picks, be sure to use promo code NOAH when you do sign up, and that will give you a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. So if you deposit $100, prize picks, they will match that, and they'll give you an additional $100 to play with. What's up, Mr. Bean? What's up, my man? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Patrick? Enjoy the game if you go. Oh, I'm definitely going to enjoy it. The tickets are kind of expensive, but it is what it is. I think the cheapest ticket, we already looked, I think the cheapest tickets are like $270. 270 is like at the very top in the nosebleed. So my first NBA game, going to a playoff game would be awesome, especially for my first game. But yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully there will be a game 6 and we can actually go. How even are your lineups? 3-3, 4-2. How many Bucks or how many Hawks? I mean, honestly, Ryan, like I don't think it really matters. I mean, like I'm not building my lineup saying, oh, I have to have a certain amount of players from each team. I think I just kind of build my lineups, and then if I have 4 Bucks or if I have 4 Hawks, I just kind of roll with it. I don't know if there's any specific number though that I would say like, oh, you got to play this amount from this team or this amount from that team. So no, I don't think it really matters, honestly. Or I think that really the only way you should be like stacking one team is if you think they just like win in a blowout or something. Like if the Bucks go out there and win by 30 tonight, I mean, there's a good chance that you'll maybe see 4 or 5 Bucks in the winning lineup, but that's not a guarantee. Would you captain Portis? I don't think so, D-Money. Like, rarely do I pay down at captain for the pay down captain options to get there. Like Zubac obviously got there the other night, but like Bobby Portis, for him to be the winning captain, he's going to need to probably go for 25, close to 30 DK points. I think, if he plays like 15 minutes again, it's probably unlikely he gets that. Now, I still think Bobby Portis is a good value, especially because the punt value plays, none of those guys you feel great about. But like captain Bobby Portis, I don't think you need to do that. I mean, if you play Bobby Portis at captain, what does that leave you salary-wise? I mean, yeah, 9,100, you'd have enough to fit in all the top guys, but I try and think about, what are the chances that Portis is the winning captain? I think it's pretty unlikely, so... For me, I think cheapest captain I'd be considering would probably be, I don't know, like I don't even know if there are any pay down captain options I like. I'm probably just going to stick to like the top guys: Giannis, Trey, Middleton, Drew. Capella might be the cheapest captain I like, honestly. I don't think this is a slate where I'm paying down a captain. Whereas last slate, Zubac, a cheap guy with a ton of upside that's getting minutes, I thought he was a pretty good captain play yesterday, and obviously, he was the winning captain last night. I don't know if there's going to be a cheap guy that's the winning captain tonight. I think that's pretty unlikely. What's up, Karina? What's up? Favorite value tonight? I mean, it's probably Bobby Portis once again. Either Bobby Portis or like Pat Connaughton, maybe PJ Tucker. But I think Bobby Portis, if he gets like 15 minutes again, he was really productive last game. Got off to a really hot start. He made a couple quick baskets. He was crashing on the boards. He was just basically doing what he does. I mean, Bobby Portis always pretty productive when he's on the floor. We don't really know if he's going to play 15 minutes again. He could play maybe a little bit more than that. He could play a little bit less than that. But at 3K, he's definitely someone I'm taking a shot on once again. I do like Portis for value. Noah's going to be there yelling at players if they're tanking his lineups. Yeah, that'll be kind of fun. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to play that day. I probably still will. But yeah, I've done that before where I went to a baseball game and I've like stacked the game and it didn't work out. But that's kind of fun. I mean, if you go to a game, like you got to get some kind of action. I mean, even if it's just a little bit. Have a little bit of a sweat while you watch the game. Question about tomorrow's prize picks. You liking CP3 and Reggie Jackson? I mean, I haven't taken a look yet at tomorrow's stuff, but let's see. I think it's out right now. I assume it's out if you're asking a question about it. So Reggie Jackson's at 33.5. Chris Paul's at 41.5. Well, Chris Paul was at 41.5 yesterday, and I took his over, and that paid off. He barely got there. He finished with 42.4. I think I like the over. On Chris Paul again. Now Reggie Jackson, man, it seems like every game he scores around this. Like you look at what he's done. I mean, 32, 52, 35, 36, 33. It seems like most nights Reggie Jackson's going to score around 33.5 fantasy points. I think I said it yesterday. Like I think his projection's pretty spot on right now. I don't think I'd be taking the over or the under there. If I had to pick a side, I'd go with the over. But I definitely like the over on Chris Paul again. I'm fine with that one for sure. Looking like the Bucks can't handle that pick and roll. Young was smashing off the pick and roll. Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons that Brook Lopez played so few minutes. And that could be something that they do moving forward. Like I don't know how many minutes Brook Lopez gets on a nightly basis moving forward, especially if he's getting cooked in the pick and roll. You like the over on Giannis 0.5 and Middleton 2.5 threes? Giannis, I definitely like that over. I mean, Giannis is just taking it seems like every game he's taking at least like 3 or 4 3-pointers. Let's see how many see how many he took last game. I mean, yeah, he took 2 last game. Obviously, he went 0 for 2, but 2 3-point attempts, 6 3-point attempts, 4, 5. Like they want him to shoot threes. So you need him to make one. So if Giannis takes 3 or 4 threes tonight, there's probably a good chance he makes at least one. So I definitely would take the over there on Giannis, and then Trae Young or Middleton, Middleton, 2.5 made threes. Over his last 5 games, he's gone over that 2 of his last 5 or 3 of his last 5. So when it comes to these three-pointers made, I try and look at how many threes they're taking per game, and then I try and look at how many they're making, like what the trend is. Middleton's gone over that, in 3 of his last 5, so I'm fine with that one too. Definitely like the Giannis one over though. DK, what's up, my man? Thanks again for coming on last week. GOAT. I appreciate you, DK. Thanks for the $15 super chat, my man. You did have to do that, but appreciate the super chat, brother. Appreciate that. We're gonna have to definitely link up again. I'm sure we'll link up at some point. Some point before the finals gets here. Maybe we'll do a stream for game 1 of the finals. But it seemed like everyone enjoyed our dual stream we did a couple weeks ago or a week ago. Definitely gonna have to do it again. What kind of benefits do you get with your Patreon? You can check it out, Mr. Bean. Link down below in the description. It tells you pretty much when you sign up. It shows you everything that I offer on Patreon. It's one price, and that gets you access to every sport: NFL, NBA, and MLB. Those are the 3 sports I mainly cover. Bobby Portis over 13 fantasy points. Yeah, I took that over earlier today. I took Bobby Portis over 13 fantasy points. I took what else did I take? Let's see. I did a 4-pick power play. It's the only thing I've done so far today. I don't know if I'm going to do anything else, but yeah, I took over on Drew Holiday fantasy points, over on Bobby Portis fantasy points, over on Kevin Huerter fantasy points, and then over on Bogdan. And it's not that I feel great about Bogdan, but 19 fantasy points, I mean, that's a pretty low projection for him. Even with him, kind of disappointing these last few games, he's still gotten close to 19 fantasy points. There's going to be a game where Bogdan he starts to get things going. He's going to, play more minutes. It could happen tonight. He could play close to 30 minutes tonight, and if he does, he can easily go over that projection on prospects. So, yeah, that's a little 4-pick power play I did earlier today. And I do like the Bobby Portis over on prospects. Any interest in Gallinari? I mean, I think he's a fine mid-range option. I don't feel great about Gallo. Like, his upside, I mean, it's just rare that we get those upside games from Gallo. He's just been so inconsistent. Some nights he'll put up 25, 30, and then some nights he'll put up like 10 or 15. The minutes have been there, though. He's going to play at least like 25, 30 minutes, but at 5,600, if I can find salary, like, I'd probably just rather get up to some other guys. I mean, or just even go cheaper. Like, Gallo's kind of in like no man's land for me. I don't really feel that good about him at his price point. If he was like 5K, maybe I'd have a little bit more interest, but yeah, I don't really like Gallo that much. Is there any way Giannis is not in tonight's winning lineup? I mean, outside of him getting in foul trouble or injury, I'd be very surprised if he's not. I think it's almost a guarantee that at least one of Giannis or Trae Young is going to be in the winning lineup, and there's a pretty good chance that probably both of them are in the winning lineup. So yeah, I would say the only way Giannis is not in the winning lineup is if he just has like a total floor game, or it's a blowout, or just something weird happens. How many do you like to combine on prize picks for a power? I mean, Gabriel, it's really up to you. You can do 3-pick, 4-pick. It's all about the picks that you put in there. I try not to just throw picks in there if I don't really like them. So if I'm doing like a 4-pick power play, it's normally 4 picks I do feel pretty confident in. So usually 3 or 4 picks, it's fine. I mean, the 3-pick power play pays out 5x, so that's still a really good investment. If you win that, I mean, you're going to make 5x your money. So if you do a $50 3-pick power play, I mean, that's $250 right there if you win that. So 3-pick, 4-pick, it really doesn't matter. It's up to you. But I would say when it comes to prize picks, don't just make random picks. I think you want to make picks you feel very confident in. That's something I'll say. I missed Noah's special guest appearance. Hey, we're going to do it again sometime soon, I'm sure. Me and DK. Probably, like I said, I think game 1 of the finals is probably when we'll do another little dual stream. Do you have to play Greek at captain? I mean, I don't think you have to, just because there's, plenty of other guys to play at captain. But I think projection-wise, like, just if I'm playing one lineup today, I'd probably play Giannis at captain. But do you have to? No. I mean, I don't think he was the winning captain last slate. I think Trae Young was, because Trae Young outscored him. Thoughts on Connaughton? Yeah, Connaughton's one of the kind of value plays I like tonight. Him, PJ Tucker, Bobby Portis. Look, Connaughton's been getting consistently 20, 25 minutes for cheap. He's definitely someone I have interest in. I mean, he's, 4,200. the value on this slate is not great. Like the guys you're playing for cheap, you don't really feel good about, but we know the minutes are going to be there for Connaughton. We know PJ Tucker's going to get his minutes. Bobby Portis might not play a ton of minutes, but he's super productive when he does get minutes. So those are the guys I'm looking to for value. And then Brim Fours, Lou Will, probably not going to go there. Not going to go to those guys, I don't think. Over on PJ Tucker's fantasy points, I'm probably not going to touch that one, Mr. Bean. Like, his projection, I think, is pretty accurate. I think most nights PJ Tucker scores around, 14 and a half fantasy points. So far in this series, the first game he played, I think like 36 minutes, had 15 fantasy points. I think the minutes alone make it likely that he goes over that. I know PJ Tucker's terrible, like point per minute wise, but he's going to play 35, 36 minutes. I mean, even PJ Tucker could go for 15 fantasy points in 36 minutes, but that's still one I don't feel great about. I would like it if his projection was a little bit lower, but at what it is, I don't think I'm going to touch it, honestly. If I was going to bet over on like a low number, I would bet the over on either like Bobby Portis or Bogdan. If I was going to bet the over on a guy that's got a low projection, just hoping they go over that. Prospects isn't available in my state. Yeah, they're not available in a lot of states, sadly, but hopefully soon they will be. I think, by football season, they want to be available in more states. So if you guys have signed up for Prospects and they're not available in your state, just stay tuned. I think they'll be coming soon, hopefully. Do you like the Portis over on fantasy points? I do, Gabriel. Just mentioned that. I think, over. I took it at 13 fantasy points. I think it's 13 and a half. So, yeah, I like the over there. If Bobby Portis plays 15 minutes again, he very likely goes over 13 fantasy points. Thoughts on Solomon Hill? So Solomon Hill last game played a lot more than I thought he would. He played 20 minutes last game. I have no idea if that happens again. Most nights he plays anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes. 20 minutes feels like a little bit of an outlier. He's 1K though, so if you want to play him at 1K, it's fine, but I don't have any confidence that Solomon Hill gets 20 minutes again or anywhere close to that. And he's already not a productive player when he's on the floor. So even if he does play 20 minutes, there's a possibility he doesn't make the winning lineup because he could score 8 DraftKings points in 20 minutes. But I guess if you force me to play a 1K guy, it would probably be Solomon Hill. With Cam Reddish possibly coming back, will that hurt Solomon Hill? I mean, Cam Reddish was active last game and he didn't play, so I'm assuming Cam Reddish is not going to play tonight, even though he's active. I don't know if he's fully healthy or if his conditioning's up. I mean, you would think Cam Reddish would be in the playoff rotation ahead of Solomon Hill, but maybe he's not fully healthy right now. We don't know. Until we hear that Cam Reddish is actually going to get minutes, I don't think he plays. You think Herter will have a bounce back game? I mean, I took his over on Prize Picks, so hopefully he does. Last game, so in the Philly series, like the Game 6, Game 7, I mean, he was so good. Like 40 DraftKings points, 42 DK points. Last game obviously came back down to earth, but the minutes were still there, and I think that's the key. He's still getting big minutes, 36 minutes, probably going to play 35, 36 minutes. I think I'm more likely to bet his over on Prize Picks than actually play him on the showdown slate. But if you want to play Herter tonight, I think it's fine. I think he'll definitely have a better game than he did last night or 2 nights ago. Is he going to go for 40? I don't know, but I think he probably scores at least like 25, 26. And his over on his Prize Picks projection is like 23 right now or 24. So I took that over. Yeah, I mean, if you want to play Hill to fit in those top guys, go ahead. But like I said, I have no confidence in him. And I have no confidence that he plays 20 minutes again. But like out of all the 1K guys, if I had to choose someone at that price tag, it'd be Solomon Hill. You think Nader is a play? Well, that's for tomorrow, Trictical. I did see that Nader is available to play for the Suns tomorrow, but we'll have to see if he actually gets minutes. I doubt he does. But yeah, that's not for today. I mean, I guess if you're playing the 2-gamer, then maybe you could play Nader, but I'd still be surprised if he gets in the rotation. I think the only way Nader gets in the rotation is if like Cameron Payne doesn't play tomorrow. Then maybe Nader gets minutes. I can do DraftKings Sportsbook, but just haven't gotten around to it. I wish I could do DK Sportsbook here. I wish sports betting was legal in South Carolina, but sadly it's not. Middleton over Drew. Honestly, I think I lean that way. Now, I do like Drew once again, But, when it comes to the ownership between these two, I've said it. Like, I think whichever guy has the better game is just going to be higher on the next slate. I think Drew's going to be higher on the Middleton because he had such a good game last time. I think Middleton and Drew play similar minutes. I think they project very similarly. Give me the one that's the lowest owned, and that's the lower owned between the two. And if it's going to be Middleton, then yeah, I would lean Middleton. But I like Drew last slate because I thought Drew was just going to be under owned, and he was. Today, that might not be the case since he had 60 DK points last time. Bogdanovich over Herter. I mean, probably not. Like, I would still take Herter there, but I did take the over on Bogdanovich's projection on Prize Pick just because I thought it was a little bit too low. And I think Bogdanovich, at some point, he's going to get back to full strength. He's going to be fully healthy at some point. He's been dealing with this injury so far. Like, his minutes have been limited. He hasn't been that productive when he's been on the floor. But, like, he's not going to be this bad the rest of the playoffs. Like, we kind of saw it with Chris Paul. Chris Paul had that shoulder injury in the Lakers series, was, not playing great, and then he got some rest, and he eventually, was able to get back to his normal self, and I think that's going to be the case with Bogdan. Does it happen tonight? I don't know, but between him or Herter, I'd still rather take Herter. Thoughts on Portis at captain? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that just because I think for Portis to be the winning captain, you're going to really need him to have like another 25, 30 DK point game, which is possible, but this is a slate where I think I want to try and pay up at captain if I can. I just think it's so likely that the winning captain tonight is one of these top four guys. Giannis, Drew, Middleton, Giannis, Drew, Middleton, Trae Young. One of those four guys I think is going to be the winning captain. Solomon Hill over Lou Will. I mean, I don't really like either one that much, but if I had to pick, I'd probably take Lou Will, just because I think Lou Will has a little bit more upside. He at least is a good shooter. If he gets hot, he could start, knocking down shots. He has some upside. I don't like either one that much because I don't think either one play a ton of minutes, but if I had to pick one, I'd go Lou Will, I think. Prize Pick locks. I mean, we kind of already touched on some prize picks I like today. Over on Kevin Herter, I took. Over on Bogdan, I took, fantasy points wise. Over on Drew Holiday, fantasy points, and over on Bobby Portis. I did a little 4-pick power play with those four. So those are kind of some picks I like on prize picks right now. Capella or Collins or both. I think if I had to pick one, I'd go Capella. Like, I haven't been on John Collins that much so far in the playoffs. I think, the upside for Capella is just a little bit higher. Both these guys, have some upside, but I would lean Capella between the two. You could play both, I guess, but if I had to choose one, I'd go Capella. I don't understand what's the difference between DFS, Sportsbook, Prize Picks. It's all gambling. Let us Americans gamble in peace. I mean, that in the end, that's probably pretty true, but I know, Draftkings had a big thing a couple years ago that, DFS almost got shut down because it was supposedly considered gambling, but eventually they made it that it's a skill game is pretty much what they said, which it kind of is, I think. I think if you take a pro DFS player versus someone who's never played DFS before, they play head-to-head, I think the pro DFS player is going to win 9 times out of 10. But, random things can happen. But, yeah, I mean, we're to the point now where sports betting, gambling, this should be legal everywhere, in my opinion. Should be legal everywhere. Is this lineup too risky? Gallo at captain with Giannis, Pat Connaughton, Portis, Trae Young, Middleton. I don't think I'd be playing Gallo at captain, Gabriel. I just haven't seen enough upside from Gallo to want to play him at captain. So, me personally, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd be more likely to just punt with Bobby Portis. I'd play him for cheaper. He could easily outscore Gallo. So, you were right last night. No Etuan, Sarge, or Kennard lost by 0.7 with Cam. I mean, yeah, I think Etuan Moore actually got some minutes because Cam Payne got hurt, but he still barely played any. Sarge played his normal 10 to 12 minutes. Kennard played 20 minutes, but he was not good in that time. Giannis at captain with John Collins, Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, PJ Tucker, Trae Young. I think that's pretty solid, Hayden. I think that's pretty solid. Dawson Capella at captain. I mean, I think out of the mid-range options, Capella is definitely captain viable. But like I said, I think it's very likely the winning captain tonight is one of the top 4 guys. And probably going to be either Giannis or Trae. But if you want to go to a mid-range captain so that way you can maybe pay up for one extra guy, I'm fine with Capella. Would you take Pat Connaughton again on Prospects? I'm stationed in Charleston, South Carolina right now. What part of South Carolina are you from? I don't want to say exactly where I'm from, John, but I'm pretty far out from Charleston. I think I'm about 3 hours away from Charleston. But would I take the over on Connaughton Prospects? I mean, I took it last time and it didn't work out. He came up just short. But like he's been getting the minutes, and I think, if he plays 22, 25 minutes again, I mean, he probably goes over 14 fantasy points. If I had to pick a side, I'd take the over, but that's one I probably won't be touching. I'm pretty salty after last slate, man. To win my power play, I needed 2 more points from Connaughton, and he came up just short. I'm still annoyed by that. But if you made me pick, I'd take the over, I think. Lopez is a cross-off. I mean, I don't want to say he's a cross-off. Like, nobody's a cross-off if they're going to get 20 to 25 minutes. But, yeah, it's not great. Seeing Lopez only play 20 minutes last game is obviously concerning. And if he gets cooked in the pick and roll again, I mean, there's a good chance he gets benched, and we just see them play Giannis at center like they did last game. So Lopez is a lot more risky than he has been, just because I don't know if it's a guarantee his minutes will be secure in this series. It's just a different matchup, different, play style, I guess. Thoughts on fading one of the big two? I mean, I don't think you have to play both. Like, if you're playing one lineup tonight, I don't think you have to play Giannis and Trae together. But you're going to want one of the two, I think. It's just very unlikely that one of Giannis or Trae is not in the winning lineup. Like, even if you get a floor game from Giannis and he puts up like 50, I mean, he could still be in the winning lineup just because he could still be one of the high-scoring players on this slate and score 50, which is a bad game for Giannis. So you're going to want one of the two. Do you have to play both? I don't think so, but you definitely want one of the two. You think Lopez will produce more? I mean, for me, it's just all about the minutes. I mean, we don't know exactly what his minute. Like, does he play 20 minutes again? Does he play more? We really don't know. I mean, it's a lot riskier than, like, Lopez has consistently been getting like 30 minutes, but since they benched him last game, obviously it's a lot more risky. He might not play more than 20 minutes. But I think he will be low owned because he busted last slate. And if you want to take that risk on Lopez, you definitely can. But I don't think I'm going to go there personally. Played b-ball for the first time a couple days ago. Shipped the fourth quarter showdown. Hey, good job, Miguel. Good job, my man. I don't really get into those in-game showdowns, but I know people say there's an edge in the in-game showdowns, but I've never really gotten into them. Are you playing any cheap guys? Oh, I mean, like, any cheap guys I like. I mean, we kind of talked about it. Pat Connaughton, PJ Tucker, Bobby Portis. I think those are like my value plays I'm looking to. Had the winning lineup last night, but had Reggie Jackson captain instead of Zubac. Damn, you were right there. Yeah, I mean, Zubac had a massive game last night. He put up like 44 DK points. When a cheap guy or when someone as cheap as he goes for 40 DK points, you're going to have him at captain. Still pissed Pat Connaughton airballed that 3. Me too, man. Me too. Needed that. Literally, I'm watching the game. I'm watching him shoot the 3, and I'm just like, I got my fingers crossed. Just please make it. And he just completely airballs it. Whatever. Favorite basketball and football team? Basketball team, you guys know this. I'm a big-time Lakers fan. I'm a big-time LeBron fan. So, whatever team LeBron plays for, that's who I pull for. So I'm a Lakers fan. Football, though, big Florida State fan. Been a Florida State fan my whole life. Now, pro football, I guess the Panthers, just because they're like the closest team to me. But definitely a Florida State fan for life for sure, and I'm a big Lakers fan. Capella over Collins, yeah, I lean that way, Ethan. I lean that way. Middleton over Drew, again, I think they both project very similarly. I don't know what ownership's going to look like between the two. I'd rather play the one that's the lowest owned. Last slate it was Drew. Today it might be Middleton that's lower owned, so I think I'd lean Middleton if he's lower owned. But both are obviously good options. Just joined, so sorry if this has been asked already, but what are your favorite prize picks today? Yeah, kind of already mentioned a few. I like the over on Kevin Huerter. I like the over on Bobby Portis fantasy points. I took both those earlier today. I took the over on Drew Holiday. I think the over on Middleton's fine as well. And then I do like the over on Bogdan, 18.5 fantasy points. I know Bogdan hasn't gotten there these last few games, but I think the minutes are going to start trending up for him. I think as he just gets more days off, more rest, he's eventually going to play more than 20 minutes. And when he does get like 30 minutes, Bogdan's easily going to go over 18.5 fantasy points. So I know people might be questioning that one, but these are kind of some early picks I like, or right now. I did do a little 4-pick power play with these 4. If you guys have not checked out Prize Picks yet, they are the sponsor of today's stream. You can check them out. Use that promo code NOAH, and that'll give you a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. So if you deposit $100, Prize Picks, they will match that. They'll give you an additional $100 to play with. If you want to check out Prize Picks for yourself, you want to use those picks, you can do so. You do any DFS football? I do, Miguel. I do. When NFL season gets here, I will definitely be making NFL content. Probably going to be making maybe 2, 3, 4 videos a week. I don't really know yet. But yeah, I'm excited for NFL. I'm just excited to have a new sport to talk about. Kind of getting worn out by basketball at this point. Are most of your lineups going to have 4 Bucks and 2 Hawks? I mean, I don't think it really matters, Hayden. Like, I'm not building out my lineup saying, oh, I need 4 Bucks, oh, I need 3, whatever. I mean, I just kind of build my lineups, and if I have 4 players from one team, then so be it. But I don't really, especially when it comes to Showdown, I don't look at like stacks. I mean, I know people say stacking in Showdown can be profitable, but it's not something I really do. I just kind of build my lineup, and if I have a certain amount of players from a certain team, then it is what it is. Yeah, you're getting here a little late, Kimberly, but still appreciate you being here. We're going to end the stream here shortly. If you were to fade a top player, who would it be? I mean, I said it last slate, like, not that I think Trey's going to have a bad game, but I just think Trey's floor is a lot lower than other guys at the top. So probably Trey, but that's not saying that Trey's going to have a bad game tonight. But I guess if you made me fade someone, it'd probably be Trey. I've been going Giannis over Trey so far, and I think I'm kind of sticking with that. Just wanted to say hi, great channel. I appreciate you, Danny. Appreciate you. Graduated college with Peter Warwick at FSU. He was a cool dude. Hey, that's awesome, country boy. That's awesome. You do fantasy football draft advice? I do not. I really don't do season long. I mainly just focus on daily fantasy. So no, I don't do season long content. I know some other people do, but not me. But when week 1 gets here, probably a week before the season starts, you'll start seeing some NFL content on my channel. And definitely, we're going to be streaming Sunday morning before the main slate. We're going to be streaming probably before the showdown slates as well. I'm going to be pumping out a ton of NFL content too when it gets here. All right, I'm going to answer this last question. Lou Williams or Bobby Portis? I prefer Bobby Portis there, Odufa. I prefer Bobby Portis. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. As always, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I wish you the best of luck tonight. Enjoy your Friday night. Enjoy the game tonight, and good luck on this slate. I don't think I'm going to be live tomorrow. I normally don't go live on the weekends, but I'll definitely still have a video up for tomorrow's game. I think we got Game 4, Suns-Clippers. I'll definitely have a video up for that slate. Probably won't be live, though, but I wish you guys the best of luck tonight. And as always, if I don't take down the tournament, hope one of you do. All right, good luck, fellas.